Hi there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Leanne. Today I want to talk about how you are not changing your reality, even though it seems like it outside of yourself. You're actually choosing the reality that you want to be in. So by focusing on being who it is that you say you are, or feel that you are, or believe subconsciously that you are, you assume, that's the law of assumption, right? That is the reality that you will end up choosing unless you decide to go back, to a different reality. And how we stay in the reality that we want to be in is to continuously declare that that's who you are. Now, so through my own experience, declaring, like, it's not just okay, I am this and then that's it, You don't have to physically have a feeling, but from my own experience, it's always been when I had that feeling. And I don't mean, like, I'm going to try and explain it. I don't mean that you have to have like that really strong emotional feeling. It's more of just a feeling of knowing and accepting. So I've noticed when I focus too hard on something, it just declared that I don't have it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, okay, I have this, I have this, I have this. Why? If I had it, I wouldn't be doing that. Like, okay, this is a silly example, but this pen, I'm not going to sit there and say, I have this pen, I have this pen, I have this pen because I have it. I know I have it. So why am I being repetitive? It's kind of similar, you don't have to sit there and just keep hyperfixating. I guess that's the word I'm trying to look for. Don't hyperfixate on something, because when you do, it's like you're saying that you need this. And being in that feeling of needing means you don't have it, which means you're choosing the reality where you don't have this, or that you don't get what you want. So again, through my experience and over the past few months especially, I have just been accepting that this is who I am now. I'm going to give you an example that I don't think I talked about on my channel. So when I was sick, and for a few years now, I have been consistently dizzy. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I've been seeing many doctors and stuff. Finally found out, or they claimed it or declared it, called it PPPD, which is persistent postural perceptual dizziness. Anyways, it's like, you're always dizzy, right? And every time I would go into a store, I had this collapsible stool with me, because before I even left the house, I worried or fixated on the fact, what if I don't get to sit anywhere? What if I can't find anywhere to sit and I'm super dizzy? So I always carry this stool with me. So I started really, fixating on the fact that, or not fixating, I started really trusting in the fact that I know I'm already healthy. There's nothing seriously wrong with me. And I knew this because if I've had this for years and I'm still okay, it's not serious. It probably can be reversed, A lot of people say that, it doesn't go away, whatever. I'm not accepting that. I don't care. So anyways, the past couple of months, I just started, like I mentioned, realizing that, okay, if I keep bringing this stool with me, I am telling myself, telling the universe, whatever, you want to call it, that I need this, that I can't stand up on my own. And therefore, I'm choosing the reality where I'm always going to be dizzy and I'm always going to need this stool. You know what I mean? So the past bunch of times that I've gone out, shopping, whatever, and I usually need to bring this, I left it behind and I didn't even worry. And I was able to shop. I was able to walk through the stores. I didn't have to sit. I didn't worry about it. I stood in line for the cash. And usually that's my big trigger is, stores because of all the stimulation, but standing in line and just standing there and waiting and waiting. And then I would start overheating and then, focusing on the fact that, oh no, it's taking forever. I need to sit. And then I'd have to open up my stool. I didn't even think about it. It's like, well, no, I'm normal. I don't need it. I don't need it. And would you believe I haven't needed it? So yeah, realize the power that you have to choose your reality because you're choosing it. I promise you, you're choosing it. As soon as you wake up, you're choosing what reality you want to be in. And obviously it's subconsciously. You're not sitting there and saying, I'm choosing the reality where I have no money to pay my bills. That's not it. But you choose that reality and then you'll stay in that reality and your day or your moments, whatever, will unfold. But you could choose to switch it, Okay, well, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, as people might say, Well, I'm going to tell my day how I want it to be. And I've done a video about that, choosing your day, declaring, tell your day how you want it to be. Don't let your day run you because you can change it. Like I've seen some people where they're like, well, no, everything is the way it is and blah, blah, blah. And well, no. It's because you're accepting it. Don't accept it. Just like I don't accept the fact now that I need that stool with me. It helped me at the time so that I can actually force myself. But yeah, I was just over these years constantly telling myself I need this. So of course I'm telling myself I'm sick. So when you wake up, you tell yourself, okay, I'm going to have an amazing day. Like I do that a lot, sometimes I forget. But I'll tell myself, okay, I'm going to make so much money this day at work. I'm going to feel this way today. Everything's going to be amazing, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to have energy, whatever it is that I want. Anyways, and if I experience, because nothing's happening to me, it's coming from me. We got to get that straight. Nothing's happening to you, because you are the one that's projecting all of this. You're like creating all of this because you're choosing that reality that you're in. Once it starts clicking, it's going to make more sense. And once you start applying some of the techniques, because the techniques can help you get there, you don't need them though. But you're going to realize, okay, I'm getting it now, So once I experience something that is not favorable to me, I will flip it immediately. I'm not going to spiral. I'm not going to let it control me. Because if I do, then now I just chose that other reality. The reality that the pen is not there, for example, Like, have you ever seen it where things just feel a little different? Like, I've even looked in the mirror sometimes. I'm like, I don't look like myself. Like, it's just strange, And then the next day it's like, oh, okay, I look really slim. Like, it's weird, And you think to yourself, like, oh, it's kind of impossible to like, overnight just look that different. But it's because in each reality, like, we are the same, but a little bit different because everything we're choosing is different, right? Even though it might look the same. So it's like, let me think of an example. Well, okay, let's say you're on a boat, okay? And you're in the middle of the ocean. So everything looks the same. All around you, the water, the waves, whatever. Now, I don't know the terminology, but okay, you steer the boat just, maybe half a foot, the other way, like to the left, let's say. Well, now you're going this way, but everything still looks the same to you. It's still the ocean, everything, and it is, right? It's the same. But it's not, because instead of going this way and landing down there on that island, you're going this way. You're going to land on this island. That's the only example I could come up with. But yeah, so things might look the same, and you might say, like, well, it makes no sense. Like this pen hasn't changed. It's been sitting there while I'm looking at it. Well, yeah, but it's not real. It looks real. It feels real. It's not real. Our minds create all this energy. It's almost like it's wrapped up and making this appear solid, even though it's not. So my brain is making everything look a certain way and continuously look that way, because our logical mind does not accept the fact that we could just close our eyes, open them, and oh my God, all of a sudden I'm living in this castle. Like it makes no sense. Our mind will not accept that. So everything has to look the same, but maybe some things are slightly different. Like you might even say, where did that pen go? Like I just had it a moment ago. You know what I mean? Because you are switching realities. Like you're switching, even though it seems like I'm in the same reality, but I'm not. I've switched a lot. I don't know what's going on outside there, because I'm only seeing what my eyes could visually see. But behind the front door, if I sit there and focus so hard that it's raining out, it's really raining, it's pouring and thundering, it's going to start to rain. My eyes are going to start to see this rain if I really believe it. I don't mean like you're just saying these words and everything's appearing, but it's what you truly believe, and that's what I've learned to apply. That now I just start telling myself, it's not that way. It's like Dr. Joe Dispenza. He did not accept the fact that he was told that he would never walk again. And he's fine today. Look up his story if you don't know anything about him. And some people would say it's a miracle. Yeah, because our logical mind can't see it any other way. But really, it's because he chose the reality where he's still walking. But if he accepted it, he might be in a wheelchair today. So like me, I don't accept that I need that stool anymore, because I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. We are all perfect. And we are creating, no, let me rephrase that. We are all choosing the reality that we are currently in. So, like, I know, a lot of people might feel guilty about certain things that have happened, and they feel like, well, okay, then I guess I chose it. But that's not the case. Like we do have, our memories, and we go by our memories as well. So it's like if I'm remembering something, and it's because it was there from the beginning, so I continuously remember it, that means that, okay, this is still in my reality. Like you may have had it where you remembered something and it's completely different. Like you swore by, oh yeah, I remember this. I had on this outfit and this person was there. And then you look back at photos and it's like, what? Okay, that is not how I remember it, because you switched it up, you changed realities. You're not in that reality anymore where that is what you remembered. It's switching, so it's like Tom Caron says, you remembered wrong, so you're remembering things wrong because somehow along the way you flipped that. I know it can sound so confusing. I still get confused sometimes, but I kind of get it now. Like the more I talk about it, The more I apply it, the more I experience it, the more I get it. So it's like, as long as you don't worry, like even, like with finances, with anything, don't dwell, don't sit there and worry, because you're just telling the universe, which is you're the universe, that, you don't have this. You don't have food in your fridge. You don't have enough money to get by. And a lot of people have heard that since childhood. You might have even heard it, that, oh, money doesn't grow on trees. I've heard that, or you have to work really hard if you want to be a success. I mean, I do believe that you have to put some effort in. Some coaches actually believe that you can just sit there and practically will it in. But, everybody's different because that's their reality. My reality, I do believe that, I need to put the effort. But I don't have to work as hard as I thought. I thought I would have to work umpteen hours a day, just to pay my bills. Whereas now it's like, no, because I just raised up my prices, and then I work less and I can enjoy my life more, because that's what I wanted, And at one point in my life, I never thought that I would have this. I never thought I would be self-employed, independent. I always thought I would depend on a man or depend on people helping, or, like I never thought that I would actually have what I have today. So, just I'm grateful for everything, and I don't expect, like these big mansions and all that. That's why I'm not sitting there dwelling on it, but I do see myself heading towards being really, really super successful. Speaking of success, I haven't been on here much because I've been quite busy, not only working, but I also have another channel. I'm going to link it below if you want to check it out. It's a review channel, and I finally got monetized on that one, and I've been having a lot of fun. I review like a lot of items, makeup, toys, electronics, all kinds of stuff like that. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, you can check it out. It's called Lily Reviews, and again, I'll put the link below. But I'm going to try and get on here more. I've been like having so much fun on that one, that I kind of put a pause on this one, but also I needed to pull away. I needed to focus on what I knew I needed to focus on, if that makes sense. I knew that that was the channel that was about to get monetized because I kept talking about it. And so I needed to see it with my own eyes, even though I believed it in my heart, or like I assumed it, in my subconscious knew that I already have it. But in my reality, I need to work to get there. You know what I mean? Anywho, so yeah, choose the reality that you want to be in. Simple as that. I'll see you in the next video.